President Trump and Vladimir Putin will have their first face-to-face meeting as world leaders tomorrow. And while they could discuss a range of complex issues, there's one simple question that has piqued everybody's interest. Will the two of them get along? And is that a good thing if they do? Joining me now is a man who always plays nice with others, former CIA officer and president of Diligence, LLC, Mike Baker. Mike, talk about the kind of psychological prep that Putin, you're an ex-spy, he's an ex-KGB dude. What kind of prep would Putin do in advance of meeting with Trump?
Yeah, that is a Russian KGB term, dude.
See, I didn't even do it in my Natasha voice for you.
Yeah, moose and squirrel.
Yeah, must kill moose and squirrel.
Putin is a supremely confident person, right? He's an enormously confident person. And so he's going into this meeting undoubtedly feeling as if he's going to gain the upper edge. And you know why he feels that way is because in the previous meetings he's had with previous administrations, Obama and with President Bush, he did gain the upper hand. There's no doubt about it. He won concessions, or at least he got them to sit on the sidelines. You know, when he made his moves on Georgia or Crimea or in the Ukraine. So he's going into this very confident. It is also likely that in that confidence he will underestimate the new president. And so this is going to be a fascinating meeting, but I think what's more fascinating is all the angst and phenomenal amount of hand-wringing from the European leaders who can't get enough of kind of disrespecting the new president, President Trump. And so they're all wailing about how, you know, this could go very badly and, you know, oh, my God, Putin's going to get the upper hand. And that means that, you know, the relations with the U.S. as far as the EU goes are going to go in the toilet. And these are the same leaders, for the most part, who couldn't bother to unask their chairs and do anything meaningful about the annexation of Crimea or about the military meddling in the Ukraine or about a variety of other things that Russia's done. So I'm not taking their angst too seriously.
But Macron did get in Putin's face, didn't he, and say, it was about information that was being spread by two Russia news agencies when they met. Did he not? I mean, does Trump need to get in Putin's face and be like, cut it out, stop hacking our stuff?
Yeah, he should. I would like to see him, you know, make a very unexpected and bold statement to Putin directly about their meddling. There's no doubt that they were engaged in this, but again, they've been engaged in this sort of activity, the Russians have, in U.S. politics and trying to influence public opinion for generations. So it's not new, but it would be, I think, a smart move if Trump would get up in his grill and say something to Putin directly about it.
One issue is how prepared should President Trump be for this? How much back work should he have done on Putin? Because at times the president likes to wing it and go with his gut. I don't know if I want to be using my belly to judge how to interact with Vladimir Putin.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to walk into a meeting with Putin or really any you know, serious world leader unprepared. And we've seen what happens when that takes place. I mean, you go back to previous summits, and probably the best example would be, you know, all the years back to Kennedy and Khrushchev. Kennedy walked into that thing completely unprepared, and Khrushchev just had his way with him. And so that's a good lesson, I think, for Trump. There are some differences here, obviously, in terms of the state of the world nowadays. Look, Russia sits behind. Their GDP is smaller than South Korea or Canada or Italy. They're punching above their weight. But all you need to know about Putin, again, you've got to do a lot of research. You've got to be prepared for this. But what you need to keep top of mind with Putin is that he is an old-school KGB officer who sincerely thinks that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the biggest catastrophe of the 20th century. He said it. He means it. That's what we have to remember. And we do want to find opportunities to work with Russia. That's always a good thing. Diplomacy is important. So find those opportunities when our interests intersect. But we have to be smart about this and pragmatic. And Trump and his people, I think, do understand that there are not many times when our actual interests, our actual agendas intersect.
Right.
So we have to really go into this meeting prepared and pragmatic.
And
That's the two P's.
Yeah, and ixnay
I would have come up with a third P. I couldn't think of one.
And ixnay on reopening those compounds in Maryland and New York. That's a big myth. in my book.
Right.
Mike, thanks.
Right. No, we want to be careful because they're going to be looking for sanctions to be released. He's going to be looking for things to take back. You have these concessions. And I think we want to hold the line on everything and get something out of Putin.
And enjoy those low oil prices, Mr. Putin. Thanks, Mike.